Hello everyone, Styer here. Today we're going to be doing a review on Ranger Point Precision's new brass recoil weight. Your brass recoil weight will come in 3 different sizes. One will be for the L, one's going to be for your M, and one will be for both of the C and S model. The L model will be 1.3 ounces, your M model will be 1 ounce, and your C and S is going to be in 0.9 of an ounce. These are machined from a bar stock brass and laser engraved. Your package will include an Allen key and 2 set screws so you can lock the weight into the chassis. Proceeding to do the install, you're going to need to dismantle down your Steyr. So clear and check first. Remember to, when you go to pull off your slide, you'll have to depress the trigger and take the tension off of your firing sear. Once you have it dismantled, just set away your upper, because you're only going to be working with your lower. Your recoil weight is going to go here in the nose of the chassis. It will go basically directly above where the Picatinny rail. It's going to sit on the inside. When you take in your weight, it does not matter left or right, whatever your preference is, to set inside. Inside you're going to notice that there are a little screw back here. This is where your serial number goes in. That is where one of the set screws are going to bite into the chassis. Your other one is going to go up into the nose. The way that this system is going to work is when the screws go in, it's going to expand the brass just by a little bit, which is going to lock it into the chassis. So the tip will expand, which will widen it, and that is how primarily it's going to latch into the system. When starting, the easier way to do this is to insert to the rear first and then push down with enough pressure, and you'll actually feel it lock in. It makes it just a seat, and that's what it's going to look like inside. As you can tell, it is completely flush with the lower of your frame inside the channel. And when I say flush, I mean it is perfectly smooth and set up. Do remember when you're doing your install, because you're working with small parts, I would recommend to use a mat or put this on top of a small dish towel so you can set your parts so they do not roll around. Because they're small, they'll be more than likely your gun's going to be greased or lubed, so it'll become very slick. The easier way to take this is to install your Allen set screw onto your Allen wrench. Starting from the rear, make sure that you do not cross thread this, because if you cross thread it, it will not want to come out easily and you will damage your weight. Slowly set your screw until it is flush. Make sure you do not over tighten. An easy way to check this is to take your finger after you believe you have it set and feel. If you feel your screw still on the top, or taking the Allen wrench and moving across the top, it'll actually bump into it if you don't have it set deep enough. And then you'll proceed to do this on the front. An easy way to make sure that you do not cross thread is once it starts, back off the Allen and spin it backwards to make sure that you have an even seat for your threads. There's no glue or adhesive that's needed to retain the weight in the chassis. It's strictly going to be done off the pressure. And that's what it's going to look like inside your chassis. Alright everyone, well, we're back from the range after installing the recoil weight in the front on this L9. Approximately went through 150 rounds this afternoon, just seeing what the difference was. Had no issues. It adds just enough weight to the front that there is a noticeable difference in the way that the firearm balance. I noticed with the full magazine, the balance point now is extremely even, right in line with the trigger. When there's no mag in it, it's extremely nose heavy. There's no weight. Once you load out, the gun becomes totally even and balanced. So with this particular one being set up with the Ranger Point guide rod and the 1.3 ounce weight, the gun just becomes totally even. As you saw in the video, I believe it shoots a little bit flatter. I think this will help do a little improving on muzzle rise, especially on plus P ammo. I didn't really notice a big difference, except for just the gun was a little bit heavier on standard 115 to 124 ammo. But when I was shooting 147 full metal jackets and above into plus P and a couple double plus P rounds, there was a major difference. There is no more of the jump out of the front. It stays level. Except for the sound, you really don't even feel the plus P power anymore on the heavier load. Well, that's it on the review process. If you have any questions, please comment below. I think anybody that gets one will have a nice additional upgrade. It's a well-made part, and so far I've had no problems. We ran it. I let 2 other people try it out, and we're gonna come back and we'll do a review after I put about 1,000 rounds on top of this new upgrade. Stay tuned for more videos.